Hi guys, my name is Meets. This is going to be a review for the Figma Spider-Man. And this is based off the movie The Amazing Spider-Man that came out recently. And actually they're making the second one, which I'm kind of looking forward into seeing. So it's actually kind of surprising that they're making this, but since they have, well, I'm kind of curious if they're gonna make other Marvels, aside from Spider-Man. But nonetheless, they made this, and you get all cool poses. I actually like the design of this particular Spider-Man. It seems more, you have the rubber shoes there. It's like a legit suit, as opposed to the old, the old style. Still spandex. And this is $1.99. So many Figmas already. Alright, so that's about it for the box. Let's open it up. Alright, so we have Spider-Man right here. It can stand on its own without any problems. First thing I noticed, you got this really nice metallic paint, kind of like similar to Samus. But this one in particular, it's textured. You get all this really nice from the costume. It's just amazing. I really like this. Yep. The joints are not painted, and one thing that kind of strike right away is the back of the knee. They seem to use a very big Figma joint right here, as opposed to what they normally have. Kind of wish it's a little bit more elongated, but something tells me they had that for a reason, or they have it for a reason, since it allows for more flexibility and for bending his knee at that angle. And for the most part, you won't be seeing that back. You'll always be seeing the front, and or you'll be always bending it on certain poses like such as these. So I can let it pass. Overall, I mean, just amazing Spider-Man. Moving on, there's some articulation. I already shown the knee. You get the ankle movement here, the heel, which are great. I like the design of the shoe. You have a swivel right here. You got awesome movement. And one thing I also found out by accident is you can actually extend the hip joint a little bit, and you actually take it out. It's a straight peg. And actually I was surprised, like, oh, did I break it? But it's a straight peg, and I think it allows for flexibility to extend his feet way up than the limitations of the normal Figma. I mean, that's a little crazy, but he can do that by extending that. So that's great that they did that. A straight peg. And so far, I don't think I've... I mean, the paint is there pretty well, and it just sticks well, so I haven't seen really paint scratches yet while moving it. And moving up, you have a hip movement right there, midsection. Nice Spider-Man logo up front and on the back. He is a little bit hunched over, which I kind of find a little odd. Then and also the neck, it seems like it's kind of swollen there, but I think for the most part it works well on this pose when it's looking up, or when it's crouching over, it's looking up in front of him. I think that's the main goal for that pose. So again, you can only make so much without sacrificing. It's either the articulation or it looks good. But I mean, this is also a lot of articulation. It's great. So for the arms, you get that nice elbow bend, and for the wrist, your typical Figma joint. And yeah, it's really great. There's no bicep swivel, and I think you don't really need it. I mean, you have one here on the elbow, which is good for the most part, and you have the shoulder articulation there. And I think if they added that kind of like the leg here, it wouldn't look good anyway. So it's great that they didn't add that articulation right there. It's not needed. That's basically it. Other than there's a Figma peg connection right there, which is great. So you want Spider-Man on flying poses. So I'm not using a Figma stand. This does come with one, which is right here. I'm not using this. I usually just use whatever stand I have lying around that's not being used already. So I'm using a Time Machine Stage Jack. They seem to use the same peg size, which is great. It's like a universal. And Spidey's ready for some action. Although typically he's not in this pose. Could be some crazy with the what do you call this? With the web slinging action. So for that, let's go with the accessories. So first off, you got this backpack, and I actually really like this backpack. It's soft. You got the rubber feel to it. It does have a peg on underneath, so even though it's covering the back, you still can mount it on a base. And this is just great. Again, I really like the design of the feet, and it's a little bit more realistic in my opinion. But, you know, he actually designed the uniform. And there we go. Got this backpack, and it molds around him really well, especially in the front. It's really nice. And again, you can use that mounting point on the backpack. And there we go. Next up are the hands. So you get plenty of them with an extra one for a phone. I think it's kind of like a smartphone. It's not really an iPad. Could be. So you have several hands. You have the one for open hand, which is for the most part for either mounting on the ground or the wall. You get the web shooting hands here, and a couple for holding you know, the backpack or weapons, sticks, which, I mean, other than the backpack, the other effect parts are the web shooting over here. I just kind of want to display the one with the phone. Spidey's making a prank call, or a call to Mary Jane or Aunt May. While swinging around. And let's go to that part. Let's use the left hand right here. Just take this out and add the web effects. You know, a lot of people are gonna make jokes about this, but I have to say this is one of the great ones I've seen so far, since it's not overly done. You know, with the a lot of sometimes when they add this on the action figures of Spider-Man, it's just too much in my opinion. I just want something that you know, little. And actually, Victor told me, or Vector, a good friend of mine, told me that he got this from other what do you call this? From a group that used wire tires from when you open your figures for the first time. And let me take it out. I'm actually using this as base on my camera. There we go. So this one is kind of like similar to this. You know, the wire tire, and you can just wrap this around the wrist, and you know, basically that's the same thing. But for this demonstration, I'm gonna use actual effect part that comes with this. So it just goes over to the peg. Actually, it's molded really well on the base of the palm, and I really like that. Just mounts in here. And you just position it on where the cartridge is, the blue cartridge. It's actually pretty cool. And there we go. Making a phone call while shooting another web. And there we go, we got Spider-Man. Alright. And just another pose that you will typically see Spider-Man at. And again, I'm using that wire. Can have him in this pose. Or this pose also. Again, lots of fun, lots of action poses. And this is truly is an amazing Figma release. Like I said before, you have this amazing metallic finish. You get just a handful of accessories, but that's just enough to have fun with this. On top of awesome articulation, it's just great. And again, there's only a few things that kind of throws me off is the knee, but despite that, like as you can see when you display it, more than often you won't be seeing that bulge on the back of the knee. And yeah, again, really great. I highly recommend getting the Figma Spider-Man. Alright, that's about it for the review. If you have any questions, let me know. Till then, this is Meads. Thank you for watching.